All right, everybody, it is concrete pour day. We have got everything the way we want it. All the edges are cleaned off. We've got a nice bright chalk line down the edge. That's going to be the top of concrete there. This pour is 8 feet wide and 38 feet long. Chester, you ready for more of a house? Huh? You ready for some more house? Are ya? We're gonna make it bigger. What do you think? How about you, Molly? Huh? What about you, Molly? I just pressure washed all this out yesterday, dogs. You guys are dirty. You done pooped in it. That's not allowed. What do you think, Bella? Oki's over there catching bees. We'll have some swollen lips. That's what's gonna happen. Anyway, we got some good help today. We got the Howard boys and Dad with us today pouring, and my dad as well. This is going to be, I ordered 7 yards of concrete to make sure we've got a little extra. We can kick some off of that far end if we need to, over there or over here, either one. But we're gonna get this thing poured. Concrete truck should be showing up any minute. Alright guys, as you can see here, we got a skid steer coming in the left side of the view there. Concrete truck was afraid to come over the hill because it was so wet, so Justin had to go get a skid steer, and now we are putting the concrete in 1 bucket at a time with the skid steer. So much fun. All right, everybody, we got it poured. It was an interesting one. You can see that we had to use a skid steer to get the concrete in here. The concrete truck kept sliding over the hill right there, and he was concerned that if he kept sliding, he would end up going on in here. So we got it poured. For all you concrete professionals out there, I'm not a concrete guy. I'm used to ICF, where you don't have to do much work with the concrete. So this was my first time ever bull floating any concrete. This first section here, I was able to reach from about halfway, but I wasn't able to reach it when I was down at the other end. So we didn't have enough poles for that. I was just glad to have the amount of poles that we did have. So you can kind of see where I've got the bull float lines. Hi, Riley. Riley's helping me this evening. You can see where I've got some bull float lines in this thing. But again, this is a dog kennel. This is for dogs to, you know, do their thing. And, well, then we wash it off. But if you look down through there, it looks pretty good. We got it all completely poured. It's all nice and flat. Tied into that pad really well. Obviously, our form boards are still on. We went ahead and put one kennel up so we could show you guys the expansion potential here. This is a 6-foot by 10-foot kennel is what this is. And yes, it's a wedge shape on the corners. The reason it's a wedge shape on the corners is because there's an offset. You can see it there, right there at that corner, where that kennel's a little shy of the pad. I don't know if I'm going to leave it this way, but this panel here will actually be for another kennel. It'll be 6 foot down through here, kind of go past the window there and shoot in right there. And then we will have a 5x5 kennel right here. These outside kennels are going to also attach to the inside of the building, like you've seen before. And I'll show you guys once we get all of these attached. I'll show you guys how that is on the inside. As you know, the inside of the kennel is air conditioned during the summer and heated during the winter. We did go ahead and pour an extra 8 feet here. I think one of these days, hello. One of these days we are going to add 8 feet to this kennel, to the entire shed, and we will also add 8 feet to that side over there of concrete. Come out and then we'll pour all this as well. The concrete's poured. After we get all the kennels in, I ordered them roughly 9 weeks ago, and they're not going to be in for a couple more weeks. That's just how supply is in today's world. Not much we can do about it. But once they get in, I'll put up another video of how those things go together, how we assemble them and attach them to the building. All right, everybody, we have got a break in the weather. You can see some openings in the clouds there and some dark clouds coming. But we have got one more thing to do other than stacking another course of block on this kennel renovation. We have got to put in this perf pipe. And we're basically just going to take it from where it's at right there. And we're going to dig a ditch straight over the hill. We do have a telephone pole down there we need to avoid. So where that dead limb is kind of coming down, we're going to shoot it out right there. That's just an overgrown section of trees that hold all this bank from eroding into the ditch. And we run all of our gray water drainage lines right over there to that ditch line. So let's hop in the Mini and get this dug. Normally I wouldn't dig this with a 2-foot bucket, but that's what we have. So that's what we're going to dig it with. We don't have to go very deep. This is just to get the water from behind the retaining wall there, the stacked up block, down over the hill. back in there. Again, this is just a drainage line from behind the wall there. We've got a good downhill slope, but I don't want a big old divot in it, so. Chunky clay there. Getting harder. Sticky old clay. Hillside has always been rocky. See if we can get them clay chunks out of there. That's deep enough, and then we'll turn around and we'll get back here in the woods. And then we'll dig back over top of that trench there, connect the two. Always says every time we end up with a green yard, I got to dig something up. So just want to stay consistent since the yard's getting nice and green and almost done with the kennel expansion. I figured I might as well dig all the way across the entire yard. Keep her happy, you know. Can't ever let the wife down. We're going to angle it just a little bit to stay off of this tree on the right there and off of that tree straight in front of us, and we'll just kind of go right in there. A little wet yet. We did just get some rain yesterday. I'm sliding a little bit, but that's all right. All right, we got her dug. Got to daylight it out all the way down there in that hole that I was talking about. Now it's time to pull the dirt back over and backfill it. Let's get this going. Here on this top side, I'm not going to backfill that yet. I'm going to backfill the actual ditch so I can still mow my yard, but this dirt pile here on the left, I'm actually going to contour that hillside. Let me turn a little bit here. It comes from our steps right there at our patio. You can kind of see how it drops off both ways. From that high spot about right in here, I'm going to level that out with all this dirt right here, which came from the kennel expansion. All this area used to run all the way to the shed, obviously. So right now we're just going to backfill the pipe from about right there down to the tree line, and we're going to contour that at a later date. Let's go. Let's go. We need to get a little closer. Get that big pile up there out of our way. It is really sloppy out here. I'm trying to get square with the ditch so that I can just backfill, but it just doesn't want to stay where I want it to stay because it's really sloppy on that edge, because that pipe's been running water down through here ever since I installed it. It's doing its job. I just didn't get it installed quick enough because we've been busy and this, that, and the other, so we'll deal with it as we can. Else to make the wife happy. But I will leave this a little bit humped up for a while. There's a lot of clay in here, and I know sometimes clay doesn't settle all that well, but I mow every week. It'll get driven over top of. I just don't want to drive along it, track it in, because I'm afraid I'll collapse that pipe. So we'll leave it humped up, probably more than what I should, but it'll work its way out. On my I get this done and the rain won't settle it in, but that's okay. That's part of it. Cicadas everywhere. Can't keep them off of me. I've had 3 of them land on me in the last 30 seconds. Doggone things are crazy. And they get all mad at you when you pick them off of you. Gotta love it. That's alright. We'll get to experience it now, and 14 to 17 years later, we'll get to experience it again. So, well, I have to deal with them every once in a while. Extras, but they were just from down here in the tree line, so we just need to move it down there and grab the last little hunk here and we'll be done. That gets our drainage line put in for our retaining wall. Next steps of the kennel extension will be stacking a little bit more of the 2x2 cubes. Our supplier is running a little bit short right now, so I gotta wait a little bit before I can get the last few that I need. But until then, I appreciate everybody's views, and as always, like, comment, and subscribe.